rest for the weary. It's another defense that just loves to throw 12 guys at the line and tell you to figure it out. Like,
yeah, 12 would be a problem, but
well, you know, it feels like it probably at times,
Yeah.
I bet. But when a team is loading up that many defenders at the line, like
Yeah.
how much of a mental game is that for you and Frank to kind of figure out throughout the week and then, you know, in game?
Yeah, there's our work put in throughout the week that we'll certainly do, and there's a lot of similarities to what they were doing last year, and a lot of different things. I think it's year 2 of this defense, and you can tell they've added some things and done some things a little bit different. So, yeah, it'll be a challenge as it always is, but it'll be fun, and I can't wait to get going.
Does something always come up that's you don't anticipate? In
Of
a matchup
course,
like
yeah.
this?
And that's not just these guys; it's everybody. Every week they'll have something, and certainly they're coming off a bye. I'm sure they had some time to get ready, watch maybe a little bit more stuff on us, and they'll have something that they think will give us issues, and we'll adjust from there.
What are the tells that you sort of look for in that situation? Is it just based off what you see on film, or is there something else that you're trying to, you know?
Yeah, you just look at the film and you come up with a game plan and get ready to go. I got a lot of respect for Coach Flores and obviously Kevin and those guys, and they do a good job getting those guys ready. And I think what I've noticed, they're extremely ball aware. They're defenders. They know where the ball is. They got their hands on the ball a lot. They're putting their hands up at the line of scrimmage. They're trying to knock balls down. They're trying to bat balls up in the air. So it's a challenge, and it'll be fun.
Dan talked about that a little bit today, just the turnovers that they've been creating. You guys have been really good at taking care of the ball the last few weeks. Just how important is that turnover?
Yeah, that's typically going to be the difference in the game, and those guys have been thriving off of it. So, yeah, we got to do a good job taking care of it. And like I said, they are extremely ball aware. They're trying to take it away, you can tell, and we got to be even more aware this week.
Can you tell the difference that it's second year of that scheme? Just guys are a little bit more
For sure.
And then you add guys like Greenard and Ben Ginkle.
Yep.
That just kind of fit. Is it different? Because you guys did a great job against them, but is it?
Yeah, their personnel's better, and they're on version 2 of this defense. You know, so it's definitely a tough unit, and we got our hands full, but it's something that we're getting ready for now, and it'll be a good one.
Jared, you've been around the league quite some time now. When the organization rewards guys in the middle of the season like they did Montgomery, like they did, you know, Alim as well. What does that show for you? What does that do for the locker room, I guess, going forward as you guys in pursuit of trying to
Yeah, it's awesome. It really is. I mean, guys like that you know, now I feel like an old guy being able to see, like I've seen Alim kind of grow up from a rookie to his second year, now his third year, and so on. But it's awesome. I mean, and they're rewarding the right guys, and that's what the good teams do. And I think, like you mentioned, David and Alim, and it gives everyone else in the locker room, like, hey, you want to be rewarded, you want to make a ton of money like these guys. Just watch these guys practice. Just watch, you know, St. Brown, Panay, all these guys. Just watch them work. It's an easy thing to do for them upstairs, I'm sure, to reward the right guys. But it also feels good for us in the locker room.
Watching Alim from your view, like where have you seen him grow the most over these 4 seasons?
Oh man, I mean, every day in practice is a challenge against him, and you'd have to ask those guys up front. They get it up close and personal. But I've seen him grow in maturity. I mean, these guys are young coming in the league, and I was the same way. But you see him grow up and become a leader and become a guy that you can rely on every down, and become a guy that's, you know, as important to our team as anybody. So it's extremely exciting for him and his family, but he deserves it, and I'm happy for him.
You're always learning things about yourself, about your team, each game, no matter how many years you've been in this league. I'm curious, when you have a game like Dallas where you guys were foot to the gas in a way that maybe we've never seen before, did you take away anything special about that, about what maybe you can be going forward with that mindset?
Yeah, what we took away, I mean, yeah, it was kind of a full team game, and it was the first time, I think, since I've been here that it was, you know, starters out in the fourth quarter at some point because of the lead we had. So, yeah, it was something that we hadn't done before, but it shows what we're capable of, and I think now it's, you know, how do we respond to that? How do we come back to work today and put foot on the gas again, and like we just did, and come back in tomorrow and Friday and continue to do it.
This is week 6 or week 7, I guess, game 6. But can you know, how do you sort of, you know, digest the magnitude of this game? Right, it's early in the season, but it seems extremely important at the same time. So.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's important because it's a division game, and they're at the top of the division, and that's why it's important. But if we were playing Green Bay or Chicago, it would be equally as important. But yeah, it's a division game. It's our first division game, and it's one that you definitely want to win.
How much do you keep tabs on the division at this point of the season, with every team being 4-2 or better?
How much do I keep tabs on it? Yeah, I know they're 4-2, and I know the Vikings are 5-0, and that we're 4-1. So, yeah, it's a pretty good division.
Jared, Scotty was saying today that this offense is nowhere near what it can be, but you guys have scored 12 touchdowns and 89 points the last 2 games. So, where, in your view, can this offense get better? Where can maybe you get better?
Man, a ton of places. I thought I did miss a couple things in that game. You know, I was able to hit some of the big ones, but Missed a couple guys that you normally feel like you do hit, and sometimes that happens, but was able to hit the big ones and make up for it. So, yeah, just continue to get sharp and more on the same page, especially with these new guys, and feel good.
Your connection with Jamison continues to grow, more explosive plays. What's factored into the increased production?
Work, a lot of repetition, a lot of reps, a lot of time together, communication. What does he like? What does he see? What do I see? How do I want him to do things? And he's been incredible. He really has. He's growing a ton and continues to get better.
Jared, that 21 class with Alim and Saint and Sewell, you kind of came in at the same time as them to the team. Can you put into words how important that group has been? Yeah,
they've been incredible, right? That's kind of been a big part of our team and foundation for our team. And I think that draft, I'd be, I've got a bad memory. I know those guys that you named are in there, but I know there's a few more that were part of that have obviously been a big part of our team. And yeah, it's been fun to see them grow.
Just going back to the pressure packages, how difficult is it in those fraction of a seconds where you have to decide whether you're going to go to your hot read or that's exactly what they want, is you go down to your hot read?
Well, pre-snap, yeah. Well, that's what all the work right now we're doing is, trying to figure out what's the best way forward, and then pre-snap you're making a lot of decisions, and then post-snap you're making a lot of decisions on where the ball should go. So yeah, there are a lot of, tight, minute, millisecond decisions that you're making, but that's my job, and try to do it well.
Beyond having different personnel and being in year 2, are they doing like different things with their blitz packages?
Yeah, sure. They're doing different things. Yeah, they're not going to roll out the same defense they had last year, and they've grown, they've improved, and it's a good unit.
Thank you, guys.
Does it almost feel? I know we talked to you in the spring. You said, "Hey, I'm letting the business people handle that. I'm just dealing with football." But is it a little bit of a weight off your shoulders now, knowing you're going to be here, set here for the next 4 years, 5 years?
Yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't 100%. I'm so glad it got done. I'm so glad that I can be here. But yeah, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a weight off my shoulders for sure. I'm just extremely thankful. I appreciate the organization and everybody that's in that decision. So yeah.
What's it say to that locker room that guys like yourself, David, obviously with Panay and Jared and Amon-Ra earlier too, that the guys that are put their head down, go to work, that the core of this football team, you're going to get rewarded?
Yeah, I mean, it just says that right there. You come here, you do what you're supposed to do, you do your job to your fullest extent. How couldn't you? And they just show that loyalty and that love through to their guys. So it's just that as well. You just come here and do what you need to do to the fullest extent, and some, you'll get what you need. So.
Were you surprised by the timing and all of it, that it came, when it came?
Honestly, yeah. I didn't really know when it was gonna be, because I wasn't that locked in on that, to be honest. And then my agents called me, I think 2 days ago, and then things were getting more serious, and I'm like, okay, this is getting a little crazy. Then the next day it happened, so I'm like, oh yeah, this is wild. But the timing definitely was crazy. I didn't expect, nothing right then at that time, at that moment. So
if you had 2 sacks in week 1, they would have done it then, right?
I don't know if that was, in the deciding factor or not. It could have been. I wish I would have had 2 sacks week 1 myself. But I don't know if that was in that deciding factor or not. But
Alim, yeah, how does a contract like this change your life?
A lot. Full 360. But, I mean, as far as me, myself, it's not going to change who I am. The person I am, I'm just coming here every day and work like I did beforehand. But, it obviously changes a lot of different things. But, as me as a person, I'm remain the same. So.
What about for your family?
It changes a lot for them too. I come from a solid situation at home. I didn't per se have to do too much, but it changes a lot for us, and different experiences and stuff now. And but we're all about saving money, so that's just gonna get put up, and we won't even see it. So.
Something like this bring a team together though. They lock in Montgomery, they lock you in. Can that bring? Y'all don't have any distractions, so to speak, with contract situations and stuff like that. Is that something that could potentially bring y'all together a little more as well?
I believe so. Guys are always happy for other guys when they get rewarded or something of that nature. So I believe so. Yeah, it just kind of shows that they're loyal to their guys. They show love when you put in the work and when you do what you need to do. So I believe so in certain ways. Yeah.
Get a chance to celebrate, watch some late night Revo. What is this?
What's crazy? What's crazy? When this was all going down. When this was all going down, I'm on the phone with my agents or whatever. Reba is on the TV. I could not lie to you not. Reba is on the TV. And the Van, one of the characters, Van in Reba, he had just signed some contract with this team in Colorado. And I'm like, isn't this crazy? But yeah, Reba was on. But no, I didn't celebrate or nothing like that. But Reba was on. Reba, I don't know. It always comes on at crazy times. It's just on. And every time it's on, I have to do this. And I get crusted. And now everything's about Reba. So, but no, I haven't celebrated nothing. I'm locked in. I'm worried about this game this weekend. So.
Speaking of being locked in, you had 7 pressures, 2 sacks, Dallas. With obviously what happened with Hutch and going to need everybody to step up, is that now something that you feel personally like, hey, I've got to have that kind of performance every week?
Yeah, we all feel that way though. But if we're talking about me individually, I do feel like I need to play that way. And I feel like I can do that. That's what I do as a player. When I'm locked in, I'm honing in on my keys. So that I do expect that from myself. But that's how we all feel. We know we're gonna have to step up in different areas and pick up slack in different areas that 97 had. And everybody knows who 97 is. He does a lot for us. But yeah, we're definitely accepting the challenge. We're ready for it, and we're gonna be prepared. We're gonna be ready to go. So.
What was clicking for you so well individually in Dallas though? Because you were disruptive. It seemed like almost every play.
I wouldn't say anything specific was clicking. I just kind of number one, I was just getting off the ball. My main goal for that game was just to get off the ball, and everything else would solve itself. So I would really say just that, I guess. My get off was clicking. I was just able to get off and read plays and diagnose things quickly. But nothing special. I would just use my hands and would just diagnose and run plays when they were there in front of me. So.
The coaches here call you a pillar. When did you feel like you were like a core piece of this team's foundation? Obviously, you arrived in 2021, but when did you feel like you were like a central piece of this team's future and rebuild?
I guess last year, truly, for me personally, because my first 2 years, I didn't like production-wise and all that stuff. That's why I went and made that change I did. And last year, I feel like I was actually a part of the team because I was doing something that was producing. So for me, I would feel like last year, but I never really thought about it like that, like called myself a pillar or anything. I just came in and did my job. But I guess last year you could say I started feeling like more important to the team and my production, everything matters. So, yeah.
Can you speak to your draft class a little bit too with you, Panay Sewell, St. Brown? Just how special was that class? Did it feel like that coming in? Or?
It did feel like that coming in. And I'm pretty sure every class feels like that coming in, but I don't know. When we came in, it did feel like that. And then I knew something was a little crazy about our class. It was Amon-Ra. He had hurdled somebody. I swear it was our first padded practice rookie year. He hurdled somebody, and Panay did something else that day. And then I felt like I did pretty good against Frank that day. So I was like, okay, we might have a little something going. And then look where the class is now. Panay and Amon-Ra, those guys are elite. He's superstars. So I just feel like it was a solid class. It was a solid class.
You hear about next man up all the time in sports. What's to say about your defense that Hutch goes down in the second half? You didn't lose a step, kept Dallas out of the end zone completely.
Just that. It's the next man up mentality, and you have to have that. You can't be the guy that's on the side, not paying attention, not ready to go, not prepared. Everybody in our room, everybody in our defense, our team, we're always prepared. Whether second, third man, there's no really such thing to me, but whether you're second or third, whatever, everybody's prepared to go. And I think that's just what it was. The next guy stepped up. He was ready to go. He was prepared. He knew what he was doing out there, so he could play fast. And that's just how it went. But that's just the mentality. We talk about that all the time here, actually, being the next man up mentality, because you got to be ready. You got to be prepared. You never know when your opportunity is going to come. So.
What do you think Buttercup come from? What are your first impressions of Isaiah Thomas?
It was very brief today, but explosive, get off the ball, long arms. He has really good hands. Feet is coordinated with his hands really good. So I thought he looked good. So yeah.
Alim, it's a week-to-week league, but whenever you look at what's to come this week, an undefeated team, division game, every team in the division is above 500 right now. How important is this one at this point of the season against the Vikings?
I think it's huge because it's the next game for one. But I think it's huge being a division opponent, and we want to grab this game for sure. They are undefeated, and we want to knock that off. We want to beat them just as much as they want to beat us. So, yeah, I think this is a huge game coming up, and we'll be able to show who we truly are. We're on the road, so at a division house, and it's going to be pretty loud in there. They have a good atmosphere, I believe. So it'll be a good game for us. It'll be a really good game.
Appreciate you.